Good morning, listeners and viewers. Yep, it's Random Access Memory, the program where I attempt to tell you what's going on in the region and prevent you from just hanging around the house doing nothing. Not to say that there's not plenty to do around the house. What with spring around the corner, all of a sudden we're looking at our garden going, yep, looks like we'll have to get into it. Anyway, I've got some guests coming on in a little while, so I'll crack on with the messages. On Friday in Dannevirke is the poetry group. Of course, because it's National Poetry Day today. Did you know that? Yep, National Poetry Day. The poetry group in Dannevirke meets regularly, but obviously special emphasis today. When I say today, those of you who are listening tomorrow, that was yesterday. So, National Poetry Day, but the poetry group are meeting at the Dannevirke Library from 10 till 11:30, and it'll be about poetry and stuff, is what I'm guessing. At Aratoi, you might have noticed that they've been celebrating for a little while the 50 years of Aratoi as a bunch of exhibition and talks celebrating the fact that they've been being an important community asset for 50 years. So they got public events, a free education program for community and school groups, and a publication to be launched on the 11th of October, which is the actual birthday of Aratoi. So pop into the gallery. There's a whole lecture series happening. The next one is happening on the 1st of September, and that's a thing about the 1970s with Lut Beringer, who is a former Aratoi director, and is currently director of the National Art Gallery. He was director of the National Art Gallery between 1979 and 1989. I'm getting there. Also at Aratoi is the Top Art exhibition. That's where it's a whole touring show with a selection of NCA level portfolios from school students, painting, photography, printmaking and sculpture, and that tours around the place. It's at Aratoi from Friday the 23rd, aka today or yesterday if you're watching or listening tomorrow. So these portfolios are all ones that achieved excellence in visual art in the previous year. Hey Club Wairarapa is having a karaoke night on Friday, 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. with Karaoke Joe. He'll be along with a great selection of songs for you to sing, so, tune up and come on down, whether it's to perform or just encourage those who do. Open to their members, affiliated members, and their guests. The restaurant will be open from 5:30, so you can grab a meal. Club Wairarapa is on 20 Essex Street, just off Chapel. It's the Wairarapa Bride of the Year contest, and that's happening out at Copthorne Hotel and Resort at Solway Park, over there. Also Friday from 8 until 10. If you want to buy tickets, that you might still be able to. 0800 buy ticks, or get online and check it out on the event finder. So celebrate the 50th anniversary. So Bride of the Year began the same year that Aratoi did. I don't think there's anything to connect those, but anyway, I just mentioned it. It's the 50th anniversary of this iconic, unpopular event, and you can celebrate that with a complimentary glass of bubbles or juice on arrival, and an anniversary cake as an addition to the supper. View a selection of winning gowns from throughout the 5 decades. See Wairarapa's lovely brides parade in their beautiful gowns before the audience and a panel of 3 judges. Should be fun. As they parade and relive their wedding day memories, points will be awarded for deportment, dress, personality and overall appearance, with the results announced at the end of the evening. Some things just keep happening, don't they? Right, that's Bride of the Year. It's presented by Masterton Plunkett, and it's a fundraiser for them. So funds will help support their Plunkett nurses as they work to fulfil Plunkett's vision. In the first 1,000 days, we make the difference of a lifetime. All right, good cause, right? So there you go. Let's move on to Saturday. For those of you who feel like a walk, now that the weather's getting a little bit warmer, and I was looking at the weather report, I think Saturday is going to be pretty good. So at Orui Station, at Motuwairaka Stream, Riversdale, on Saturday, starts at 9 o'clock, so it's a unique overnighter, offering the opportunity to take in the breathtaking Wairarapa scenery during a hike over privately owned Orui Station near Riversdale. On arrival, you select your cabin. I think I'll have that one. Then tuck into breakfast before walking up an appetite. Yeah. Stop for a packed lunch and enjoy the views of the coast while Michelin star chef Adam Newell and his team are busy preparing a hearty four-course feast for you and your fellow walkers on your return. Michelin chef. Wines are selected by the Union Square sommelier to match each course. Right, it's going to cost you $299, but keep in mind, breakfast, lunch, dinner, overnight stay in a cabin of your choice, and a fabulous walk across just stunning, what's the word? You see, the scenery's stunning, but you're not walking across the scenery. You're looking out at that. You're walking across the geography. There's a better word. You can buy tickets, I think, from 0800 Buy Tix, or visit the website Wellington on a Plate. Hey, it's Fair Try. Is it? No, that was last week. I forgot to get rid of that. All right. We might move on to Sunday in a moment, but before we do, let's have some music. What have I got? I've got Led Zepp. Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Let's have Bring It On Home.
Try to
Zepp, of course, with Bring It On Home. And we've got two guests, as I mentioned, that they would be popping in, Clinton and Steve. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, and now, there's a new program about to start. Where have I put all my stuff? I tell you what, I'm in a real mess this morning. There we are, from the Tribal Nations Aotearoa group, who we thought we'd ease you into it gently by bringing you in as guests this morning. So you're heading towards a particular event, a charity motorcycle run. Tell us about that. I know it's a bit of a way in the future, but the earlier we hear about it, the better.
Yes, well, Tūpoko Tika Horowhenua Tribal Nations motorcycle community is proud to be hosting the Green Ribbon Ride Against Teenage Suicide event in Wairarapa this coming Labour weekend on Sunday the 27th of October. And the aim of the ride is to raise awareness about teenage suicide in particular, and to raise some funds for, this time it's going to be King Street Artworks. So
great, yeah.
The ride will be beginning in Featherston, and we will be riding through all the towns. We're going to ride through Martinborough, Greytown, Carterton, and end up here at Farrier's car park in Masterton at about 12:30 p.m, and we're going to be making some noise through the towns with a lot of bikes and some hot rods from the Ram Riders, and we'll be trying to make it a good day of community well-being for the community and raise some funds for King Street Artworks.
Excellent. Now, I'm just going to interrupt for a moment there. Those of you who are watching this on the television, the shot's not cut over to Clinton, and so you just get a shot of me kind of nodding and looking interested, which I am. Normally our cameras are voice activated. Every so often they go, I can't be bothered. This morning seems to be one of those. So sorry about that, but it's great listening to you, and I'm sorry to our viewers that you have to put up with this face for the duration.
It's probably the most handsome face in the room anyway.
Yeah, so kind. I don't know though. So Steve, what's your involvement with the group?
I'm the chapter secretary, so I handle a lot of the paperwork that goes with being involved in a charitable organisation, which we are.
Yeah.
And I'm the contact person if anyone's got any questions or queries about the event. Any potential sponsors out there that are interested in sponsoring us and helping us raise funds for King Street Artworks, then I'm the person to contact.
All right, that's a crucial one, because without the sponsors, then the ride is just a ride. So how do sponsors get in touch with you?
They can contact me, probably easiest is on my mobile telephone number, which I can leave with you if that's the easiest way for people to contact.
Let's tell people now as well.
Yep, so my telephone number is 027 53 63 007.
Great. And of course, as we said, you'll be doing a regular program, so that'll generate a lot of interest, I'm hoping, and people will be able to contact you through that as well.
Excellent.
We were talking about Thursdays at 5 o'clock. Still good for you?
Yep, it's good for us.
Yeah. And I'm thinking maybe even next Thursday we could start. Is that all right?
That'll be great.
It'll work excellent.
Not too sudden. So there you go, listeners. Tune in to Arrow FM every Thursday at 5 o'clock, and I think we'll be also repeating the program in a different time slot so that people who are not around on Thursdays at 5 can get to hear and watch the program as well. So you ride bikes too, I presume, Steve?
We do, yeah. Yep. We're made up of a lot of different walks of life, our club. We've got, the labourers, the builders, the contractors. We've got business owners through to people that work for district councils and the likes. So we're made up of a very eclectic mix of people, but we all ride for the one cause, which is to raise awareness for teenage suicide, which for our club is, it's such a strong cause to ride for, and it's something that we're all very, very passionate about.
Right. So that's the overarching thing. Even though this coming event is dedicated to King Street Artworks, your big kaupapa is about teenage suicide.
Yes, yeah. King Street works well for us because they do so much for the community in the Wairarapa already. And, we've spent time with the King Street artworks in the past, and, we just see that as an excellent vehicle for this rally in October, as a way to, again, just raise that public profile of the good work that King Street do, to get that out there in front of people's... and also it gives us an opportunity to talk to sponsors and potential business sponsors about just who King Street are and what they do.
Yeah. Organisations like ours, because we're a charity as well, we are so dependent on sponsors and funding bodies, grant bodies and things like that. And this is a good community. We've got some great funding bodies, but it's still not easy, is it? I mean, I sympathise with you in your position as the man behind the paperwork. I have to do that for us, and it is hard, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But it's the Wairarapa is an interesting place. Is that suicide affects everybody. I don't think that there'd be one person in the community that it hasn't affected somehow. And when we get in front of businesses and we're shaking the donation tin, if you like, looking for donations or looking for support, they're very, very open to it. And I think it just reminds them, the business people, of what's happening in our community on a day-to-day basis. And I guess it just shakes them into a little bit of action and makes them start to think about what their business can do, in the community in a slightly different way than just putting adverts on the newspaper and advertising their business. So we've had some really interesting conversations. There's been nothing negative. People that we're talking to are wanting to support us, which is great.
Yeah. Yes. Well, this is what we can do. We're not in a position as another charity to fork out money for this, but by providing exposure on air, I hope that's going to make a difference.
It's very much appreciated. Thank you, Michael, for this opportunity.
So what we need to do is get people really interested and generate an audience for the program as quickly as possible, because the ride is, what's the date again?
27th of October.
So that's hurtling towards us.
Yes.
And you need to generate a kind of critical mass of listeners interested in the event and interested in what you do. So we'll obviously promote it as much as we can on our Facebook page and things. Do you have other avenues yourself that you can help promote it?
We've got a very strong Facebook and social media presence for our club across the country.
Great.
So we have a lot of club members, but we also have a lot of supporters that just love what we do. With our kaupapa, so they share our posts madly. They get our posters and they share that with everybody they know, which is great. And we get a lot of support from that. There's a lot of people that might not ride motorcycles, but like what we're doing in the around the country, raising awareness, so they want to be involved somehow. So we're lucky in that avenue. And then, like I say, through sponsors and businesses that we deal with in our day-to-day lives, we're always taking the opportunity to let them know what we do.
And then you can kind of piggyback on their networks too.
Yep. Yeah, so it's been, it's really good for us, but it's like anything. When we hold events like this Rats Rally in October, it's not just about the motorcycles and the noise. It's about getting, just the general public to come along and support the event. So at the end of the ride down in Farriers, we're having a community afternoon, and that's designed for just the general public who want to have a look at some motorbikes, who want to have a look at some hot rods, who want to come down and have some food. Because we'll have food stalls and caravans down there, so they can come along in a social setting, have a look at all the vehicles, have a look at the motorbikes, and talk to us. Yeah,
and it is great that there's that extra pull. I mean, I used to ride bikes too, and there's just something magic about it. There's nothing quite like the feeling of leaning into a bend and whizzing over. It's funny that some of the roads that people in cars go, are just the perfect roads for being on a motorbike.
Yep.
I went through the Wairarapa Gorge recently, and that is just fabulous for leaning into the corners.
Yes.
What is it about motorcyclists that make them so charitably inclined? Because there are quite a few groups who do this kind of thing.
Yeah, we like riding motorcycles, and one thing you'll find with motorcyclists is they'll do anything they can to get out and go for a ride. And if they're supporting an event, whether it's green ribbon that we do, white ribbon, the rider respect for the RSA, they'll hop on a bike and have that excuse to go out and ride. So they are a very charitable bunch. If they see an opportunity to raise some funds for someone in the local community, they get behind it really, really well, and they open up their pockets, and that's awesome. And I think it's just that camaraderie.
Yes.
Like I said before, as a club, we come from all walks of life. As a motorcycle community, it's even broader. And doesn't matter where you go on your bike and where you stop, there'll always be someone to talk to. Someone will want to come and talk to you about your motorcycle, or there'll be other motorcycles there, and it's just a kinship.
There's a crowd hanging around your bike. Yeah. Are you mostly Harleys these days, or is the whole range?
You've got two complete opposites at this table.
Oh, really? Great. Right. What do we got?
Yes. Well, I ride an American bike called a Victory. And I think they're one of the better bikes ever built.
I ride the real Harley Davidson.
Yeah, I've never ridden a Harley. I had a couple of Triumphs, a lot of Japanese bikes, and I once rode a Moto Guzzi, which I thought was an interesting vehicle. Chunky, great.
Yes, our club is a beers club, a British, European, American club, but we do have many riders who ride Japanese bikes as well. So, the club is all-inclusive. We are made up of like-minded people from all nations, backgrounds, cultures, religions, and we have an emphasis on helping spread awareness around suicide, violence and abuse. And like you said before, Steve, the camaraderie within the motorcycle community is quite evident. And even though it's an individual type of pursuit when you're riding your bike, the bikers love to socialise, and there's many events throughout the country that bring that opportunity to socialise together. And I think it takes a bit of dedication and a bit of money to get your motorcycle licence and get a bike. So those same qualities of dedication
good point.
Bring you towards wanting to help others, because it's such a social thing to do, riding bikes. That's what I found.
All right, well this is just a bit of a taster for our listeners and viewers, and sorry to the viewers that you can't see these guys, because they're fabulously attractive. It's just a pity you have to be looking at me.
We've got big boots to fill on Thursday night.
So tune in on Thursday nights, starting next Thursday, 5 o'clock. And I think that we'll be putting up your webpage on our website any day soon, when we've got the last little bits of information. Thanks very much for coming along this morning, and welcome to the Arrow whānau. Be good to have you.
Thanks very much for the opportunity.
Right, I've got some music by Family now. I don't know if anybody knows Family, but they were quite a big band in England in the 70s. Had the gravel-voiced singer Chappie, he was known as. Anyway, great to have you here, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Turn, you finally learn to play along. Your feelings are blank, so you don't really mind if it's right or wrong. What they've done, the end's just begun to fill the end. The end is inside, and the part of the fight now it's will and rain. Yours and mine. They won't let it stand on. I could cry. Hell, but I'd much sooner fend for myself. Don't wanna feel that I'm traveling wild in every part of heaven and falling land. Just wanna do and share what's yours and mine. So as I see, they're looking at me with glasses on. And as sure as I feel, I know that for real and the guess is on. Well, I'm talking wild. No, they won't let it stand. No, no. Don't wanna feel that I'm traveling wild in every part of heaven and falling land. Just wanna do and see what's yours and mine. After the turn, you'll finally learn to play along. Your feelings are blind and you don't really mind if it's right or wrong. Well, I'm driving wild. No, they won't let us stand. No, they won't let it stand. No, no, no. I said they won't let it stand. No, 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 no. We're
Oh, that was an abrupt ending, wasn't it? Anyway, it was great to have Clinton and Steve here, and I think you'll enjoy their program. There's so much to talk about, and it's such a fabulously important cause. There, by the way, is for our television viewers, is a little brochure put out by the Tribal Nations Aotearoa group. Right, moving on, I've got to tell you more about what's happening. All I'm going to say about this one is that it's Clairvoyant Day at Carlton Event Centre on Sunday, and if you want to know more about it, I'm transmitting that information to you now. Okay, good. Moving on. On Monday, it's the Wool on Wheels pop-up at the Vault Cafe in Dannevirke. So what is that? All the variety of a major yarn market. So this is, if you like a good yarn, it's all there in one room, so you can squish to your heart's content. That must be a weaving term, to squish. I don't know. This is your annual opportunity to browse an amazing selection of artisan yarns, pattern designs and craft accessories without spending a cent on postage. FPOS is available, and you can RSVP on their Facebook page, which is just look up who are they. I tell you what, you'd be better to go to Event Finder and look at the Wool on Wheels pop-up. It's at the Vault Cafe, Dannevirke, on Monday, 3 until 6. And they're keeping the cafe open late just for them. So bring your projects to work on over a cuppa or a snack, surrounded by the ambience of great yarn. The Wool on Wheels pop-up at the Vault Cafe in Dannevirke on Monday. The Woodville Book Club are convening again at the Woodville Community Library on Tuesday. So come along and meet other reading enthusiasts. It's on at every last Tuesday of the month at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. Did I tell you where? Yes, I did, but I'm going to reiterate that. It's at the Woodville Community Library. And the New Zealand International Film Festival is starting this week, Wednesday, 28th of August, this Wednesday, and it goes until Wednesday the 11th of September. This is on at the Regent 3 Cinemas. It's a celebration of film on the finest screens in New Zealand because they got some flash gear there at Regent 3. It's the cultural highlight of winter, they say, and I think, they got a reasonable claim to that. It's in 13 towns and cities, so we're privileged to be one of those. And it's run by a charitable trust. It maintains a rich tradition of diverse choice and a curated selection of expertly crafted films. Again, no argument with me, mate. And the opening film is Mrs. Lowry and Son on Wednesday, and that is a fundraiser. That's a fundraiser for Pukaha Mount Bruce. All right. What's ongoing? Ongoing at Aratoi, the Ian Chapman exhibition, A Song for the Uncoordinated, is still happening, so catch that. Ian Chapman's quirky and very attractive works. The This Is Me, Jan Eagle retrospective and the story of Edna Ma is still going. The Paul Gadsby eco-political bird paintings are still on. I'm not sure if the King Street Artworks exhibition is still on. Not sure, so I might have to take that off my list. I think the Kerry Hughes and Wairarapa Archive exhibition is still going. Now, don't forget the various markets. The weather is threatening to behave this weekend, so go to the Featherston Weekly Market, go to the one here in Masterton by Farriers, go to the one in Carterton at the Memorial Square. No excuse, and in those you get fabulous local produce instead of things being chucked on into containers and shipped all over the world. It's grown locally, so the carbon footprint is minimal, and it's good and fresh. And you can usually have coffees, and occasionally there'll be musicians. So it's well worth supporting, and not just supporting, but having a good time yourself. Where are my glasses? It's the end of the programme, I think, and time to say goodbye. Now's the time to say goodbye. Now's the time to yield a sigh. Enough of that. See you next time. Bye.